My chop name Usain Bolt. Try to run from it, chill, drop blood exclamation mark. She used the wrong sentence. Moral of the story is he dead with some parts missing. 15 shots to the neck, I'm a bartender. Niggas know I'm always on deck with some cars missing. Stars in the rafe, I wish a nigga would play hard with me. He don't wanna beef in the Texas, a smart nigga. Niggas act like bitches, I'm Lisa Leslie Spark niggas. That's for all you hard niggas. In a minute, you gon' be somebody pallbearer. I'm on my shorty, he like knocking down tall niggas. Looked at my wrist and start catching Ray Charles. Some sticks in the car, I'm tryna drop some. Beams in the night, shit can get nocturnal. I'ma hit him hard, you gon' cry murder. Talking greasy in them comments, I might hurt you.
Isn't that funny? Like we were talking about starting, and now we started, and everything just got like, not more intense, but it feels like a little more serious, especially since I like just sat down next to you. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy how that shit works.
Yeah,
you know
now my palms are sweating, and it's like,
are you serious?
Yeah.
Do you feel nervous right now?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel it. Me too.
My heart is pounding, but you know what? I love it.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this for a long time, since you wanted to start, dude.
Okay.
Since you told me you were gonna start doing this. And I can't believe how far you came, to be honest. I thought you were just messing around with me when you told me you wanted to start a podcast and you wanted me on it. But to get all this stuff already, like, it's crazy. I know you're supposed to be asking me questions, but where's your next stage? Where you gonna go from here? You gotta think about making money with this thing, take it to the next level, bring some, I don't know, athletes on, some famous people, I don't know.
I like how yeah, and like what we said a second ago, we were gonna jump right into that question that you were asking me like before it like started. Mm-hmm. But you were talking about this becoming more of a, you were saying instead of having fun, do some type of business type shit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel like if you do any sort of like business shit like that, where you just like change the vibe up and start going that direction, it always becomes something worse. Like I almost feel like I'm having so much fun because this is just for fun. This is literally just like fucking around and talking to homies.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. With the business, then come more like responsibility, more like seriousness and shit.
Or just like you would ruin. I feel like you would just ruin the vibe. Like for real though, I feel like it would be something completely different.
Okay.
Something completely different.
Something completely different.
Because the thing is, like, I don't, like, the way I would visualize money in business, it would be, like, something not like this.
Oh,
something more intense, you know what I mean?
You see, well, that's the problem with a lot of people, though. We always think money comes with hardship. But money should come with fun. Like, make money off of what you do. Love. Look at professional athletes, man. Professional athletes. They were doing what they love. Yeah, they were stressed out about it, but hey, they were doing what they love since they were kids and they were making money out of it. You could put money and fun together, but I get what you're saying.
That's true. That's true.
What you're saying. No, it will change the vibe up. You'll have to start being careful. But hey, I'm so proud of you. I can't even believe it, dude. I can't believe it. I'm proud of you. How far you came.
Dude, thanks, man. Thank you.
Buddy.
I appreciate it. You have no idea what's been on this podcast, huh? Like in terms of like topics or like talking and shit.
Absolutely nah, I'm not gonna lie. No, I don't. That's why I'm excited about some of the questions you're gonna ask me today. And a little bit nervous about talking about some of my past, but hey. Why not?
Yeah, no, I'm stoked because you're like, bro, let's fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate you coming on, bro. I really do.
I got you, man. I got you.
Dude, yeah, bro. Shit, I remember talking to you at some point in person, like a while ago. Mm-hmm. And you were like, dude, like, I want to say some shit about
about Liberia, growing up in Liberia.
Wait, oh no.
Oh what?
Well, related, but you were gonna say you wanted to talk about Black lives and Black people.
The Black lives,
like, bro. Like, run it up.
Oh, dude, don't get me even started, man. Don't get me even started.
No, you did, bro. I remember talking to you, and you're like, "Yo, like, I have some shit to say about Black people." Yeah, and I was like, "Dude, you should say that."
I do have some shit to say to Black people.
I want to listen.
You see, here's the thing with people in general. right? He said, you got white, you got black, you got Mexican, but in this whole world, it's all about black and white people. It's always black and white. Everything's black and white. You ain't like, what the fuck, man? Like, come on. You see, with white people, you got a lot of white people that say, oh, Black Lives Matter, stick with black people, but behind closed door, you don't know what the fuck they're saying. I've had a lot of white friends that say, yeah, I got a black friend. I'm not racist. I got a black friend. No, just because you have a black friend doesn't mean you're not fucking racist. But then let's take it to black people, man. And they were the worst of them all, of this whole racist shit. And I'm not kidding. You see, black people, we preach black unity. Black people unite together. We come together, but we only say that shit when a white cop shoots a black person. Or when a white person shoots a black person. But why the fuck do we not say that shit when a black person shoots another black person for a goddamn Louis Vuitton bag? Like, you know what I mean? Like, with black people, we say black, like, we are so with black unity. But we don't get the fact of true unity because we go against one another. We're not happy if somebody else made it out of the hood and we didn't.
They're not happy?
No, not a lot of people are happy. Come on, if you listen to a lot of these hip hop music, some of them are about how other niggas are hating other niggas because they made it out of the hood and they did not. Like with black people, with unity, you gotta remember, like with unity comes being happy for other black people. It doesn't matter if he's a Crip, if he's a Blood. It doesn't matter if he's wearing black or whatnot. Like, you know what I mean? None of that shit matter. If we really want black unity and we really want for this hateful and this racism to stop, which, by the way, is never going to stop because people are always going to be afraid of what is different from them. Always. There's no if, there's no ands, and there's no if about it. But with black people, if we want to fit in here to a country that's not ours, by the way, it ain't ours. We trying to fit in here. If we want to truly fit in here, we cannot think about it as black versus white. We cannot think about it as cops versus hood people. If you want the hood to be prosper, then you cannot be going around robbing and doing things like that. Yeah, I get it. You got to do what you got to do. Trust me. I live in Liberia. I get it. You got to do what you got to do at times to survive. But if you live in a world that is not yours, a country that is not yours, and where you go, everywhere you look around, people will be pointing fingers at you. Why make it worse for yourself and other people? You see, cops don't wake up in the morning saying, I hate black people. Cops don't do that. They don't say, hey, this morning, I'm going to go shoot a black person. No. That cop, maybe he watched something, black person shooting a cop for no reason, or did something to someone else, and now he has a hateful and revenge in his heart because he's seeing somebody that he loves do something wrong. Now he's going to go wild with a human mindset that, you know what, I'm not going to trust something that's different from me. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to kid you. Each race, we have given each other reasons to hate one another. And there's no way, no single race in this world is free, or it's, what's the word called? Does not have a guilty conscience. We all have done something, at some point throughout this whole miserable life of ours, we've done this, each of our races have done something wrong. But you see, it's not the past that's has a trap. It's the fear of moving on, of accepting other people. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to let loose and actually get off my heart and it feel good. Because I've been holding it inside. I just wanted to say, black people, you guys are fucking stupid. You guys are fucking stupid. Like, honestly.
Is it okay? So I have a couple questions. So, yeah. Are you saying subconsciously people act out and shoot others because they look at their own skin color and they don't like it, when subconsciously speaking, they naturally they're going to look at another skin color and want to kill it or exterminate it?
Not quite kill it or exterminate it.
You're saying they just don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, as a kid, right? When you're born as a kid, your mindset, your schema is very small. Your little circle of knowledge is small. Your parents, right? The people around you. It's very small, but as you venture out, guess what? When you saw a fire at first, you were afraid to go near it because you feel the heat. You feel that's something different, right? You may have touched it, but once it burnt you once, you know not to touch that fireplace again, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like now that's the same thing with human. With human, with adults, we are not. I'm not saying like we want to exterminate or kill the other races. We're just different from. We're just afraid of them because we don't know how they're gonna react, or we've seen something that another member of that race has done, and so we're afraid. We think psychologically, we start thinking like everybody's together. We start grouping people together. Like, you know what I mean? We don't know what else to do. So we just start grouping people together. At least that's how I feel. I ain't no Dr. Phil. I ain't got no degree, but that's just how I feel from my experience.
And then, okay, so like, you were almost mad at black people for killing other black people and like not being unified, and like you're like, yo, we need to be unified right now. We need to always be unified and forever. Like, why not?
It's not
the thing
fact.
is, are they doing that because, and I mean like anybody, any race, are they doing that because it's like gang violence or some shit, and that like you're a blood, I'm a Crip, like why the fuck would we be unified? I'm fighting for territory in this whole drug domain so I can sell drugs, and opposing people, whether black, white, or Mexican. It is my goal to kill them so I can keep investing in myself and my own real estate. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, to answer that question, let me give you a little quick story. So, in Liberia, where I live in a small town called Pewtertown. You have, literally, our Kitchener is right in the middle of Pewtertown. You got downtown, and you got uptown. Right in the middle there. You go to uptown, if you're from downtown, you go to uptown, you go by yourself, you're not careful, you're getting your ass beat. If you run into trouble, you're getting your ass beat, you're getting everything you had stolen from you. If you're an uptown boy, you come downtown to try and go into the forest to go hunting, shit, you better be careful. Because we're going to hop you, we're going to jump you, we're going to do whatever you can. We're going to make it pay. But most of us, we used to play soccer against one another, and that's how we made our money. But, you see, with black people, to be honest with you, it's not the fact that I'm mad at them that they're killing one another. It's the hypocriticism that I hate. If that's even a word, the hypocrite is what I hate. Because you cannot say one thing and then react to another thing. That's my thing. Like, you can't say Black Lives Matters when a white person shoots a black person, or another race shoots a black person, but then don't say the same shit when a black person shoots a black person. Yeah, I get it. They've been talking about guns violence and all this stuff on on the news and whatnot, but to be realistic with you, it's just it is what it is. It's hard about territory. To answer that question, it's basically all about territory. Where can I make my next money? In Liberia, it was always, hey, can we push this up, this line up, and see if we could go up higher, get more places? If we do this right, we could get so and so in our group. Like, you know what I mean? If we push this past the church a little bit, push it past the midway, we could get these people on our side. We could get this person. And we can also start making money from this. Like, you know what I mean? And this was like the kids thing. Like the parents were kind of out of it, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons in America. I was fortunate to be adopted by white people that actually gave a shit. Not a lot of black people have that type of opportunity. You know what I mean? So you got to do what you got to do. So I also understand that. And I'm not trying to contradict myself, but I also understand coming from both area. You know what I mean? I just think that we got to unite.
And then it sounds like you're mad because, like, if a black... you want another one?
Oh, yes, please. I'll take another one.
Oh, yeah. It almost sounds like you're mad that when a black cop kills a black cop, people don't say all black lives matter. You're mad that when a white cop does it to a black person, then it gets stated. You're saying it needs to get stated all the time, or
I think the news needs to report every side of the story, not just what's gonna get the people going.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's honestly my thing. I just want, because have you realized the news emphasizes on when a white cop kills a black person, but never when a black shooting, or never when like a black cop does something wrong. I'm an equal opportunist person. You know what I mean? Being raised by white people, it gave me that chance to look at both sides of the story. Don't get me wrong. I was raised sometime about 10 years old in Liberia, so I gotta get it, like the hardship that people go through. And I'm not blind to everything that happens here in America. I see it. But I just think we need to follow what Booker T. Washington said. If we want to, I know this was years ago, but if black people want to immigrate into this world, right, we need to be smarter. We need educations. We need to have, Booker T believed that if we could assimilate with white people, then the world would be a better place. Then we can all live happily. Why not we all just live happily? That's where I get my belief from, is from Booker T. Washington. His philosophy is where I go off of. If for people that know about black history.
Wait, say that one more time. Say his main thing that he does.
What Booker T. Washington believed in was that as black people, if we wanted to survive in this world, if we want equal rights, this was right before this was right when slavery was like abolished and we were fighting for equality, civil rights. Not the civil rights movement, but this was like 100 years before. But anyway, Booker T. Washington believed that if we want to assimilate with them, we need black people to start owning businesses. Good businesses. You know what I mean? Start being workers, start being all this stuff. Start being the slave that you were, and start being a normal person. Start being a member of civilization. Start being an American citizen. If you want equal rights, you gotta make these people see you. You see, the thing with black people is that we speak Black Lives Matter, but the problem is, do we really believe that Black lives really do matter? Do we believe it? Or are we just saying it and hoping that the more we say it, the more people are going to be like, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean, like a trend. It did become a trend, don't get me wrong. And black lives do matter, just like Asian lives, white lives, Mexican lives, every life does fucking matter. You know what I mean? But it's time, I believe it's time for black people to stop saying that black lives do matter and start actually showing that black lives do actually matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like some of these famous rappers that came up, you know, they go up, they make good money, and then they send it back to the hood. You know, like what I mean, trying to make the hood better. Name dropper, Moneybagg. Moneybagg, yo, does the same thing. Send money back to his hood, trying to, you know, like Nipsey did. And I think if all black people start doing that, then that's when we're actually going to start saying that black lives do actually matter and that we actually want to be different. And like Kanye said, it's modern slavery. We keep trapping ourselves. We keep trapping ourselves in something that we won years ago. We won slavery. They put us in slavery. Guess what? We won slavery. It took years, hundreds of years, but guess what? We got out of slavery. We won that battle. And then guess what we wanted next? Was civil rights. Rights to vote, right to own land. Guess what we did? We fought and we got it. 100 years later, Martin Luther King Jr. fought for civil rights. You know what I mean? And guess what? We won it. But with the thing is, with us black people, we keep looking back to the past. Like, hey, look, you guys did this shit to us. You guys owe us. No, they don't fucking owe us nobody. These white people these days don't owe us shit. Just like me today, I wasn't a slavery. Yeah, I got slavery in my background because where I'm from is where slavery was dropped off, where the slaves were dropped off. You know what I mean? So I do have slavery in my background, but guess what? I wasn't a slave. So guess what? I'm not going to live in the past and pretend like I was a slave and every white person, everybody owes me something. No, I wasn't. My parents my family went through that so I could be at where I'm at today. And I think that's what every black people need to realize is like your family went through that to get you to where you're at today. You can have a white friend, you can have a Mexican friend, you can go ahead and be president. Shit. Obama, you can be president. Like, you know, black people came pretty far, but the unity is not there.
You're like the first person I've met that's like
What? That's what?
So you're opposed to Black Lives Matter.
I wouldn't necessarily say it. You've
been shitting on it this whole time. What I've gotten from you, what I've taken from you is pretty much in a nutshell, if I could say it in like 1 to 2 sentences, you're saying stop being a pussy. Like, let's get our shit together, regroup, and let's just fucking live a fruitful life.
Let's show white people that black lives do actually fucking matter and stop saying it. That's my thing. That is my biggest thing. It's time for us to stop saying it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do good. You can say whatever you want however many times, but guess what? Action speaks more than freaking words. You know what I mean? We're not going to get nowhere if we're standing outside on the fucking freeway holding signs saying Black Lives Matters. Fuck no. Now you're just pissing people off. Because now they can't get to where they want to go. Now you're just pissing them off. You know what I mean?
We're back in action.
All right, cool.
We're back in action.
Sweet. All right, so what are we talking about?
You're saying some like interesting stuff. Like, almost confusing. You're thinking about it on a deeper level. You're not really on the surface shit where you're like, oh, this is fucked up. You're saying like,
no,
you're saying other things than that. Yeah.
It's because of like the degree I'm chasing. I'm trying to be a social, early childhood education major in human development. So I'm trying to figure out how and why human thinks. That's like my thing. That's what I want to go into. Not quite psychological, but just more about like human feeling. Like, you know what I mean? Because I believe that human kind of do things based off of feelings. You know what I mean? Like how somebody can hate one race but like another race. Like, you know what I mean? Which kind of goes against what I was saying, that people will always be afraid of what is different from them.
Yeah.
But with human feeling, human mind, psychologically, we can be afraid of what is different from us. But with a human feeling and a human instinct, it's okay to like something that's different from you. It's okay to hate one thing, but like another thing that's equally kind of the same. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. That's why I kind of think about this in a deeper level. And for a black person, I need to understand why. Because I'm a black guy that was raised in Liberia, born and raised in Liberia with white people, with black people. I went from the blackest place on earth to this whitest place on earth. I know of. And I went from where everybody in my memory was white. I was black. I didn't even know for a white person until I went to the orphanage and met my first white person. And that was the lady that had that owned the orphanage. So, so I kind of get it, like living with like black people and having that culture. I didn't even know my own father. He ran out before I was even born.
Yeah.
Another statistical black thing, which is actually kind of true for most black people. But, then I lived with my grandparents, worked my ass off since I was a kid. Like, you know what I mean? Went through a lot of different things. But then I was adopted to this whitest place on freaking earth. You know what I mean? When I had them, where I had to go to the bathroom in the toilet, when I was used to going to the bathroom outside. Just go find a bush and go do your thing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Dude, I remember when I took a bath for the first time in San Francisco. So we landed in New York, right? Oh, this was the weirdest thing. My dad comes to get us. By the way, he was not allowed anywhere in Liberia without bodyguards. They had multiple bodyguards when he was coming off the plane. And everywhere he go, he had bodyguards with AK-47s and Glocks. Like, no matter where he went, he had those people.
Why?
He had to. Because Liberian people don't like white people.
Nigerian people don't.
No,
like.
Liberian. Nah,
Oh.
don't ever say Nigerian. Man, I ain't from Nigeria. Nah, fuck those people. Hell no. Fuck those people. Nah.
Like this whole time you've been like,
I've been all Black Lives Matters, but I don't like Nigerians. It doesn't mean I hate them. Doesn't mean I want to stand next to them.
this whole time you've been like, bro, fuck Black Lives Matter. Like we need to just unify and shit. And then randomly I get Nigeria mixed up with Nigeria, and you're like, yo, what the fuck did you just?
But you see, it's not because of race or nothing like that. It's not because of all the black people. Well, it might be because they're, smarter, but it's because, every single scam calls you guys get in America, everybody thinks it comes from Liberia, but it comes from Nigeria. Those motherfuckers are smart enough to scam everybody else, but then blame it on somebody else. Blame it on a different country. Yeah, my country. So, yeah, I don't...
You're saying Nigeria has blamed Liberia?
Nigerians and Liberians are kind of like very close. We're not like close, but like I don't know why, but we always, for some reason, dude, there is this thing in my heart that tells me like, whenever I see a Nigerian on TV, like that one freaking fighter, Usman, like that one fighter, I bet against him every time. Not because I don't think he's a good fighter. It's because every time I hear Nigeria, I'm like, I love him. He's a great fighter, great wrestler, amazing. But I'm gonna go with fucking somebody else. I'm not feeling Nigeria. I don't know what it is.
Because you have always said that you've never liked Kamaru Usman.
I've always said it's not because I don't know what type of person he is, or it's not because he's not a good athlete. It's just because every time I hear Nigeria, it's like ding ding ding. But like I always said, that's the thing that's wrong with black people. It's like we can never all stand together to like one. Even as I'm preaching it, Nigerian people, man, not my favorite. But anyway, in Africa, though, my dad did have to walk around with bodyguards all the time, and being on this little orphanage, man. This was the biggest and most scariest decision, but the best decision I ever made in my entire life. Not saying that I had a choice in it, but it was the scariest thing I ever done, man. Going from a different country, not from just a different country, but going from everything you ever known. All your friends, that little Liberia was everything we known. Like in America as a kid, you guys know that there are other countries, there are other places around the world before you're even 5. In Liberia, I didn't even know there was other places until I was told I was going to America. I didn't even know America existed until I was told I was going. Because over there, we just focus on something different. You wake up at 4 in the morning, it doesn't matter. If you can crawl, you can walk. If you can walk, you can run. If you can run, you can work. If you can walk and run, you can work. Doesn't matter what age you are. You work, you participate with the family. That was the type of like the life I grew up with. People living in this one big old house, 20, I think it was like 20 people in like a 7-bedroom house. So we have
the orphanage?
No, this was my house. This was way before the orphanage. But like growing up with like that type of lifestyle, so I get it. And then being on an orphanage and being in a room, a studio like this, and you have mattress from wall to wall. It's mattress. And nighttime, each is going to sleep right next to any one of your friends. You're going to try and sleep next to somebody that don't like you, you might get beat up.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They'll beat the fuck out of you at nighttime?
Yeah, that was how it was in the orphanage.
Did you have homies in the orphanage?
Yeah, I went with a lot of my family members. My half brother, my best friend, my uncle Mike, my little sister, cousin, crazy ass. His name was James. That fucker was crazy. Oh, I remember crazy story was I remember when James, so in Liberia, circumcises, right?
Yeah.
So you circumcise kids. I was circumcised and I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But James, this crazy guy, his dad never, my grandfather's brother never circumcises his son. But when he came back to live with us, my grandfather made him circumcise him. And his son was like freaking, I think at the time he was like 7. Yeah, he was right around George's age. So, and George was what, like 6 or 7? So 6 or 7, right? They circumcised this kid. And you in Liberia, it's not like America where you can put them underneath something. You can give them painkillers. No, nothing like. Oh, you use some herbs to hopefully heal it and to hopefully numb the pain. And I remember that kid would be sleeping in the middle of the day. And one day he woke up with such agonizing pain. He ran for miles all around town, nonstop for like an hour. And the way we knew it was watching the sun go back and forth, like watching the sun shadow change. And I was like, yep, he's been running for days. And it was so funny because that's how he was in an orphanage too. Just as crazy, running around and just doing whatever.
You're saying because he got circumcised and that hurt so bad and there's no medicine to take, you just run? You run it off?
You run it off. There's no way to
Is he wearing
deal with it.
Clothing? His dick must hurt. There's no way he could put clothing on, right?
No, he was wearing like a little man diaper.
And just fucking...
And plus in Liberia, at the time where I live, we didn't have clothing. So you gotta go around wearing your undies, a banana leaf, or you could go naked.
Did you know a lot of people that went naked?
Oh, fuck yeah. I did. Shit, there was days. One time I took all my clothes because we have a bunch of people living in this place, right? I took all my clothes, put it in a plastic bag, and put it in the attic. Thinking it would be safe so nobody would go through it because, I'm trying to find my own place I can put my shit. Rats chews up all my fucking clothes.
Rats?
Rats.
They
in the attic.
Clothes?
Chewed up all my clothes. I kid you not, man. I went up there, took the bag out. Clothing chewed up, rat shit everywhere. Clothes is gone, man. And I'm supposed to go outside. I was gonna go hang out with my friend. And there was this girl that I liked too. But you know what? In Liberia, it don't matter. Girls have their panties on and nothing else. So it was nothing. It was innocent. Like we didn't know nothing. We didn't know any better. Like you know what I mean? Like I didn't even know to get a boner when I look at a girl's tits until I came to America. Like I didn't know that shit. But trust me, I didn't. Don't worry. Trust me. We knew, but as like a kid, we were just like not really quite familiarized, like because it was so normal to us that all the kids walked around naked.
Yeah. Like
it was so normal to us. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong though. When we saw the older people, it was a little bit different. But I had to go out one day. I put on the banana leaf, I penned it, and I'm walking around. Nobody's making fun because it is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, you did have some rich people that was rich, but then you have poor people. Everybody's fucking poor over there. You go over in Liberia with like $1,000, shit, you're a multi-millionaire there. Basically, my dad came over there and he brought a few $100, and I think he came back with like a few thousands. Like he came back with African money. Like he was trading $1 bills for $50 of African money, if I remember correctly. But we brought back like money. He brought back money of every single different kind, and the lowest currency we had there at the time, because I can't say anything else. I haven't been there in 14 years. But the lowest currency we had was $5 bill. It's a $5 bill. You got a 10, you got a 20, a 50. And that's it. But man, I'm not gonna lie. I miss Africa a lot. I miss the fact of doing whatever I fucking wanted. Dude, you wake up in the morning, you go and play soccer. After you do your work, actually, I should go back and say after you do your work. Man, you will wake up at freaking 2 in the freaking morning. You hear an explosion. because we used to make our own coal, right? We used to burn coal. We couldn't mine coal, so we made it out
How
of
the
wood.
fuck do you mine coal? Oh, out of wood?
Out of wood. So you go
That's
and get
sick.
big logs. You put one in the middle. You make kind of like a TP. You go all the way around. You know what I mean? Make kind of like a TP looking shape with all wood. Then you put grass on it, and you put dirt. You pack multiple dirt on top of it. So you make like a stove, kind of like a stove. The dirt acts like a stove to keep the heat in.
Okay.
Right? And then you would light, and then you go, somebody goes to the top. This was the fun part. Somebody inside the top of it, where in the hole's open at the top, you take a match, you light it, drop it into the dry grass so that it can catch on fire, and then you pack the top of it. You kind of leave a little bit of hole so you got air coming through, and you let it catch on fire, and then you slide back down. There was time. Once you start doing it, you have to sit there for hours and hours, make sure it doesn't go out, and make sure it doesn't explode. But when you hear that, once you think it's fine, you go back home, walk 20 miles across water, across lakes, across everything. You're swimming across rivers, right? With leeches.
With leeches?
With leeches, man. I one time had a leech on my dick. The leech was sucking from my dick. And we had to light it on fire. That was the scariest thing. So you light the butt of a leech on fire and it kind of explode. And that's like one of the safest way to get it out. Or it's kind of like ticks. If you take a tick out, you can accidentally leave the mouth of it in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing with leeches.
Where on your penis was the leech?
right on my staff, man. Oh, man.
On the staff?
Yeah, dude, that shit hurt so bad.
And you could feel it sucking?
Oh, man, I can feel that shit. Man, I'm swimming, right? I couldn't feel it biting me. Because in Liberia, you don't got no clothes. And plus, if you do have the clothes you have, if you're going to go swim across a freaking river, you're going to want to take it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm swimming. I'm doing the best as I can. I can barely fucking swim.
Yeah.
My grandfather's helping me, and I'm holding on to this raft, and we're going through. I get out, and my Uncle Max is like, hey, it looks like you have a little friend, basically. He's like, hey, you have a little friend. Because every time you go across that water, we check each other. You have to check one another. You know, I check myself where I can see. You check my back. You check one another to make sure there's no leeches on you. Because if there is, they will just stick there. You got to leave it on there and let it suck until it falls off. But we didn't really like that. Yeah, we were a little bit sinister, so we kind of like putting the fire next to its buttocks and watching it explode.
How, like, when they were getting it off your penis, were they, like, how did they go?
Hell no, I did it.
Oh,
no, I did it.
Okay, so they handed you something on fire, and then you like...
No, my uncle just told me, he's like, hey, look, you got a little friend. So I'm like, where? He's like, so I looked down, I was like, look at that.
Did you try yanking it at first?
At first, I was about to, I was like, you know what, maybe, I was like, wait, no. If his mouth gets stuck in there, I wasn't thinking like infection. I was thinking how much the pain was going to be if it gets stuck in there, because now it loses its, because when they act like mosquitoes when it bites you. Yeah. Sometimes you don't feel it because they numb you first. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do is just you got to take salt, garlic, or fire. So I took fire, lit the buttocks, and exploded. So then I was able to kind of pick his mouth out. Like his face out of my dick. And it was the fucking funniest thing. It was funny as fuck. But it wasn't as funny as one time. One of my favorite uncle did this funniest thing. I haven't told anybody this story, but so it's funny. So we swim across the river. Same river. Naked. And I had to stay on the raft, and he was swimming with my grandpa trying to push us. Right, this other time. I don't know what the hell happened to him or why he got this in his freaking mindset. He gets swim all the way across, decides once he got out, runs to the house, still naked, picks up the bike, rides the bike uptown, naked on Main Street. Well, the only street we basically had, but he rides this bitch all the way uptown to the end of the freaking of the city limit, like basically our town limit, and then turns around and runs it back and lays down next to the church. We're like, what the hell are you doing, man? We just started laughing. And everybody, that's how we were. Everybody was free. You know what I mean? Everybody was free spirited. We just did whatever. You're naked? Oh shit, I didn't, And I came to America. Try to go out into the snow with naked. Because we used to go in the rain naked. It doesn't matter. Go around naked. And then my parents told me, yeah, you could get arrested if you go out outside the house naked.
In America?
Yeah. And that's when I realized, like, okay, this is not like Liberia. I can't go around being naked. And thank God there's no more leeches on my dick.
Yeah, that's honestly crazy, bro. I mean, the thing is, I'm like so overwhelmed right now. I can't even like ask you a question without starting a new topic. But I have so many questions to ask you all of everything you just said.
Dude, ask away. Anything goes tonight. I'll open myself up as much as I can.
When you're swimming in these rivers, are there like crocodiles and shit? Are you seeing lions?
So no.
Have you ever seen a lion?
Not in the wild.
Really?
Not in the wild. No.
That's crazy.
We heard elephants. I have heard elephants before, but where I come from, those type of animals are not really quite indigenous to us. We have more of a rainforest. Where I'm from is more of like a rainforest. So like you have my house, and then from my house was the last house, and from there it's all rainforest. So you got pythons, you got toucans, you got every single thing that is poisonous. Like we have animals there that you could not, one bite from them, you're dead.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you have to be careful.
Gnarly.
And then you had plants too. Like you have different type of plants. Berries you can eat. And it's sad that I can't really quite remember much of the natural instincts that I had growing up there. Like I tell you, I could find my way through the forest. Like that's something I was good at, was because I grew up in the rainforest.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was no crocodiles. We didn't see nothing like that. I can remember. To my memory, there was nothing like that. I remember, but like, there was weird ass shit in that river though, man. Because that river travels during rainy season. Man, it was right next to my doorstep. I kid you not. Like right next to my doorstep. You go outside and it's like maybe 10 feet away from the last step. And that's where the river ends. During rainy season, we'll get weird ass animals.
You probably have seen all sorts of crazy things just living out in fucking Liberia.
I have seen a lot of crazy things. Done some crazy things. Witnessed a lot of crazy things. But I don't know. I guess that's how. If all you know is all you know, then that's all you know. Because people ask me, in Liberia, we didn't have no TV. Right? It's not like here where, shit, I got a TV in my room. I got a TV in my room, in roommate's room. I got a TV downstairs, or, well, a projector downstairs. Like, I didn't have none of that shit growing up in Liberia. So, if all you know is all you know, then that's kind of like all you know. And I'm honestly kind of sad that I'm happy that I evolved my schema, you know, and I've kind of learned a lot. But I don't know, being in Liberia was just a little bit different. Shit, having rebels run through your house, run through your backyard, so you're trying to brush your teeth and your mom trying to hide you, or your uncle telling you, or you coming back from working on a farm, you just walk 10 miles to get back home just to grab lunch. But there are rebels, you know. There are people there trying to get child soldier, and your uncle meets you and says, you got to go back to the farm, you can't come home. He's like, there are rebels at the house right now looking for child soldier, you can't come home right now. One of my buddies trying to slow them down, so you can't come home, you have to go back. He's like, you can't. If you come home, you're gonna be taken. Go back. And this was like, I don't even remember this year. I was adopted in 2006. But
they were going to take you potentially.
Potentially, they could take me and my uncle to become child soldier. But my uncle was like, you guys got to turn around and go back to the farm.
How did your uncle know they were there?
Because my uncle, that's a funny part. This nigga used to hide gun for them in our church.
A gun?
Guns, ammos, everything. Dude, we had this church, right in the backyard. Our house, the church. We wake up in the morning and we'll go into the church and we'll look around in the rooms and you got AK-47s. From wall to wall, and you got black plastic bags full of bullets. You got freaking AK-47 bullets. You got freaking Glock bullets. You got everything in there. And man, we used to take those out. Oh, that reminds me. One time, me and my uncle got in a gunfight in a shoot-off. That's one of the scariest things I ever did.
You were in a gunfight?
It was like a draw thing. See, I know he wasn't gonna kill me, but this was right before we did one of the scariest things. We mixed cocaine with gunpowder and smoked it.
Is that good?
Boy, it got me fucked up. It got us all fucked up enough to think that we can go outside and shoot at one another.
Oh, so you pretty much did something that nobody should ever do.
Pretty much.
And then it turned you into a fucking... You and your uncle were then having a shoot off with each other?
Yeah. So, here's how this started. One day, I don't know why we decided to do this, but... So, we don't have like stoves and stuff. We use charcoal.
Really fast, bro. Really fast. There's this... Dude, there's this one song. It's by Kendrick Lamar, and he's talking about like how he like smoking a blunt that's laced with cocaine, but you're over here smoking fucking joints laced with gunpowder and fucking coke.
Bro, so I remember like it was, dude. I remember it like it was fucking yesterday. I kid you not. I remember we go into the church, grab a handful of AK-47 rounds, right? And we're all sitting there. All my uncles. This is time to be a fucking man. And we have the fire in the middle. He takes a spoon. One of my uncle goes to the doorknob, because you have to crack it right. If you hit the back of the... Everybody knows if you hit the back of the shell, it's going to explode, right? So, what we did, we took it and we put it on like a door hinge and hit it down, right? And broke the shell and took the tip out. Took the bullet part out, poured the gunpowder in the spoon, took cocaine, mix it in there, mix it together, put it over the fire until it started sizzling. Until all of it started sizzling. And you start seeing the stem. You take the stem and you put it to your nose. You just go. And you do what you have to do. I remember doing it. And man, this was like when I was like fucking freaking like 8 or some bullshit like that.
Serious?
I kid you not. I was adopted when I was like 10 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was young.
So they were like, hey, like you're old enough now. Like, let's go.
Oh, you grow up a little bit faster. You grow up a lot faster in Liberia. Like I said, if you can walk, if you can crawl, you can walk. If you can walk, you can run. If you can run, you can work.
Yeah.
I just heard this. But man, we did that shit and we're sitting there. And plus I live with like my grandparents, and my grandparents were always out. So I was surrounded by my mom's little brothers, the troublemakers. Right. So I'm doing all this with them. And I don't remember what led up to us going into a gunfight, but I remember after we smoked, next thing I remember was me standing at the top of our drive, like the top of our town, and he's standing at like the bottom. And we're standing, get this in the park, and we both have gun. I shoot at him, completely miss. He shoots at me, lands right in between my freaking feet. And I freaked out. I don't know what happened. Because with human beings, when we are in danger, we have like 20 seconds to make a decision. Fight or flight. So I decided, like, fuck this. Threw the gun down, took off. Took off running.
Were you guys like trying to kill each other?
You see, that's what I don't remember if we were trying to kill each other or if we were just doing it as like a joke. But I know when I get shit faced and get and do some shit like that, I can piss people off.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if I pissed him off or if I said something. He was kind of like a uncle cousin, if you know like what I mean, more of a cousin, but I call him my uncle.
Yeah.
But it was the scariest thing, man. I ran away. Never smoked cocaine and gunpowder again ever since. Well, actually, I never had a chance to. So,
you guys, how were the gunshot rounds going to your guys' feet? Were you guys super shitty at like holding and aiming a rifle, and it was just like missing, or were you purposely missing?
You see, that is what I don't quite remember. But what I'm trying to think. When I think back, I think we were just way too fucked up.
Yeah.
I think we were just way too fucked up to hate one another, and I am glad that we didn't. But honestly, I think if I could go back and think about it, I think we would have killed one another if we could have.
Yeah.
Shit, I have a scar to prove it.
Have you been? How do you get the scar?
Believe it or not, back in Liberia, I was the most dangerous one out of my family.
You were the most dangerous out of your family?
Yeah, I wasn't afraid to do shit.
Really?
Yeah, no, I wasn't afraid to. I don't know. I guess it might have just been because I'm kind of a little bit numb to pain. Like this one, I got this machete cut from my uncle, from my best friend uncle. Coming all the way down to the bone, skin my bone, and my skin was flopping off. Didn't cry once until my grandmother put that witchy freaking herb on it, and it stung like a bitch. Oh, that shit hurts. I still remember it. It made me pass out because it hurt so much.
The herb? Mm-hmm. Not the machete blow?
Oh fuck no, that shit didn't even matter at all. Because we were cutting the same tree, right?
Yeah.
I bring mine down. He lifts his machete up because every kid has a machete. It's like in America, every teenager has a fucking phone. Oh, yeah. Every kid in Liberia has a machete. But I brought mine down. I went to go lift it up. He brings his down and it connected. Chip kind of scared my bone all the way to the bone, and it wasn't bleeding either, which was the weirdest thing. Cause it was like such a clean cut. It wasn't bleeding, but it scraped to the bone and it scraped against my bone and the skin was flopping off. Oh. We had to burn it on. We took the skin, took a machete, put it in the fire, burn it on, and then my grandmother put some herbs. That shit sucked.
Looks like it grew back fucking well though, dude.
It did. Now I got a scar. You know what though? This scar is actually, we have a joke in both my family. This is a scar. This is how they're going to remember who I am. My African family, this is how they're gonna know who I am. That's funny. When I go back to go see them, once I get my doctorate, they're gonna look at that scar and be like, "Oh, okay, we know who you are." Well, at least that's what I'm hoping. Well, we'll see.
Dude, it's crazy because it sounds like they don't even have do they have any way to communicate with you? Like, you guys did not have phones?
Oh hell no!
Were you guys living in like huts and shacks and shit?
Boy, where we lived in, got a mud house.
Mud house?
Mud house. Everything was made out of mud. The house, we did have what you call it, not quite like the framework that you have here in America, but we did have like framework made out of wood and stuff like that and concrete, which the concrete was made right down the fucking road from us, which was weird. Just like that center blocks, we made those from scratches. Oh, those was fun too. But yeah, the houses were made out of mud. Literally the same mud that we all play soccer on was what our house was made out of. It was crazy. During rainy season time, the freaking roof will go flying. And you'll have rain coming through the freaking roof. You have a bed right there. That's where the freaking ceiling's gone. Oh shit! It looks like you better move your bed and you better find a different room to stay in, or you're sleeping in the rain.
Yeah. How the fuck did you go from like how the fuck did you end up in the orphanage? Did you want to go?
Oh, hell to the fuck no. Hell to the fuck no. And still to this day, if I could go back and I could change it, I'm going to be stuck in the middle. Like, you know, most adopted kids they'll be like, yeah, I could go back and I would change it definitely.
And like live there again?
No. Like change, like they wouldn't change anything. That's what I meant to say. Like they would go back and would be like, no, I wouldn't change anything. I like where I'm at. Me, I do like where I'm at. The family that adopted me, dude, I couldn't have fucking asked for a better family. They gave me everything I ever wanted. But you see, I'm an opportunist. You see, I always think about, because life is an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Decisions. If you think about it, one decisions, you can make one business decision that could make a business amazing, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
You can turn this into a profit-making thing. Yeah, you'll make money, but what are you losing? Or you could keep going with this, what you're doing, and then what are you losing? Is it? So it's an opportunity cost, and that's how I see life as. So if I could go back, I don't know what I would do. And in my opinion, I am happy to God. And this is that my personality. This is like the juvenile side of my personality, because I did like a personality test. The juvenile side is like, I need somebody to that kind of tell me what to do. I'm good with it. I'm a strong person, but not quite independent. Does that make sense? Like, if you tell me what to do, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
And so, in my opinion, I am happy that the decision was kind of in my hand, but wasn't really in my hand. Because I could have, if it was fully in my hand, I could have been like, no, I don't want to go to a country that I don't know existed.
Yeah.
I don't know that exists. So, but I would be in my right, because I do not know this place exists. But I will be limiting my opportunity to learn. So if I could go back, I don't know what I would choose. And if it was in my hand, I don't know. What if I stay in Liberia and make things work? Or what if I come to America and do what I'm doing now? I almost better get my degree. Yeah, I know a lot of people would be like, oh, dude, I would do that. But can you imagine being 8 years old and letting everything you ever loved, everybody you ever known, and this was even before you knew what real love was, what love was actually. Your mother didn't live with you. She made you live with your grandparents because she chose her husband, her new husband, not my father, my stepdad, over me. Her own son chose her husband over them, but they had a kid, my stepbrother. Guess what's fucking funny? Guess what's ironic? As much as I hated that dude, guess who's with me? His fucking son. Got adopted to the same place as me, with the same family as me. My little brother George.
The stepbrother?
My little stepbrother George got adopted with me.
And this is your mom's new husband's son that fucked your mom, got her pregnant, she popped out.
Yep.
This guy.
And I hated the fuck out of me. Hated me.
Hated you?
Hated. Oh, I mean with a capital H. Bro, with an H and a T. Capital H and a T. Hated me, bro. I get you now. This fucker hated me. And guess what? I never hated anybody else. Because hate is such a strong word. Dude, I believe like hating somebody is like letting somebody live in your mind for free. Like Russell 5'9" says. I truly believe that. But I never met anybody that I hated more than this fucker. Stingy ass bastard.
The stepdad?
My stepdad.
Oh, so not
hell
okay.
no.
Okay.
Dude, I love that little nigga like you. I love that little nigga. Man, I look after that fool. But if I could say it, and I know my parents are going to watch this later, but they know that because I already told them. I wish I was the only one adopted.
Say that again?
I wish I was the only black kid adopted.
Why?
Be a black token? I like being a token. I'm a black token. Shit. Growing up in a white place, I was a black token. I was Buzz Lightyear, man. I was the Buzz Lightyear in all my school. In my school, bro. the most popular kid on campus, the happiest kid on campus. Everybody likes him because guess what? A teacher talks shit to me. Guess what? I got to pull out the black card. And back then, the black card actually meant something. Back in like 2000 freaking, I mean, not too long ago, but back in like 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, the black card actually kind of did mean something. You could be like, oh, you just pulling me over because I'm black, and then they will be like, wait, what? I said that once to one of my principal. It was like, wait, what? He's like, fine, just go do whatever you want. I said, all right, perfect. But yeah, no, that's why I wanted to be the only black kid. Anyway,
like adopted in history?
What?
Like, you want to be the only black kid adopted in history?
No. Hell no, not in history. I already fucking ruined that shit. No, I meant like,
From your village.
I met like, no, this is, okay, I'm gonna let it out. This is my deepest, darkest secret that I hold. One of them. It's the fact, wait, I gotta look at that. It's the fact that I wish I was the only one adopted by the Quirie family. I wish my little brother George didn't get adopted with me. That's the biggest, darkest secret I have. But it makes me such a hypocrite because at the same time, I'm very happy that he is adopted with me. I cannot imagine my little brother. Well, now, to be honest with you, for the past 14 years we've been together with the Quirie family, thanks to them, that I can actually treat him like my actual brother.
Are you mad because his dad fucked your mom?
No. If I could actually answer that honestly, it's gonna go back to why black people are never happy when another black person makes it out of the hood instead of them. Because here's the thing. George had a dad. George had a dad that knew everybody in our family. My dad ran off when I was being born. He stole a bag of rice, a bag of beans, a couple pairs of pants, and some couple pairs of shoes. You think, I know what most Americans are thinking. When you go and rob somebody, you're going to take what's most valuable. But in Liberia, that's what is actually valuable at that time. At that time, I guess back in 1996, that was what was most valuable. In the 90s, that was what was most valuable, bag of rice. Because even when I was a kid back there, I think like back in early 2000s, the most incredible thing was getting a bag of rice. You know what I mean? We will have to wake up at a certain time, you have to make it in line. You're standing in line for this. You know, like how Costa does that food bank. Costa used to do that food bank thing where you gotta go stay in line to go get some bags of food. Like it was the same thing, but with rice. They would come with rice. You gotta stay in the line early in the fucking morning, at 5 in the morning when it come. If you're not there, you don't get rice for the week, or you don't get rice for the month. You know what I mean? So it was valuable. So he stole all that shit.
And he was like cooking it on the way and shit. Where do you think he moved to?
Man, I got no fucking idea, but all I gotta say to that motherfucker is fuck you, thanks for the sperm. And that's it. But I always wish like my dad was like someone like Akon or somebody famous that came to the U.S. and I could be like, shit, okay, you know what I mean? Or like some type of prince of fucking Africa or some bullshit like that. You know what I mean? That's the beauty about not really knowing your father. You could just have fantasies and believe in who they are. Because I know for a fact I'm never going to meet my real father. But I do have a father though.
The one who adopted you.
The one that shouldn't have been in freaking Liberia walking around the way he did.
Should not have been?
No, he should have been walking around the way he did. Man, this white dude was trying to go everywhere he can. This motherfucker let this freaking chimpanzee jumped on them. Black people, we know you keep chimps as pet, but you don't, if it's not your chimpanzee, you don't really let it clamps on you. This motherfucker let the freaking thing clamp all over him. The thing almost choked him out. And
The chimpanzee?
Dude,
Oh, is it a
chimps
big
are so fucking... No, it was a small little one.
And it almost choked him out.
It was stronger than me. It was stronger than 20 people.
No.
Dude, it took the guards. It took the guards to fucking get it off my dad. Like, it started climbing on him. It was like grabbing him and stuff like that.
Can
he
you
didn't
just
know what to
grab
do.
it and throw it off you?
Dude, he tried. I tried. Multiple people. Dude,
You're
these
seeing a
things...
little bitty monkey.
You see, here's the thing with...
I know a grown one could fuck you up, but like a little monkey like that big, could it?
But you see, here's the thing though with white people. Like, it's like my dad will contest to this. It's like white people, when you guys see chimpanzee monkeys, you guys are like, oh, it's so cute. Baboons, you guys like, oh, it's so cute. Hell no, those motherfuckers are mean as fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, they were strong as hell.
Yeah.
They were strong. Because imagine though, they were claiming every single day, using their muscles, every single part of them. Have you ever had a monkey though? Have you ever ate them? Dude, chewy as hell. They gave you such a jaw headache. I called it a jaw headache.
You've eaten a monkey?
Oh hell yeah! You never eaten a bush meat? A bush, dude, you get bush meat every once in a while. Bush meat was a specialty.
What's bush meat?
Bush meat is where when you go hunting, multiple different people, and what you do is you set up a net, you set up a trap, and then you have people that run individual that will run the animals, every type of animals, whatever was in that area, they will run them into the trap, into the net. So you didn't know what kind of animal you were getting. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of it, after everything was set up, you don't know what you're getting. Excuse me. You will get a fucking giraffe. You could get a giraffe. You could get a lion. You could get a zebra. You didn't know. But one time, my uncle made sure we got some monkeys and we ate it. Like chicken, but fuck, that shit was chewy. Nothing but muscle. So those fuckers are strong. It took a while for my dad to get him off.
Why was it like... Okay, so bushmeat is a ton of different animals added together, or it's just an animal and you're literally eating whatever the fuck they're gonna give? Is it like mixed together? Is it
bushmeat? Bushmeat is you call it bushmeat because it's a lot of different animals that is gathered into one place that is killed all at once, and then just I don't know. I guess the best way to describe it would be like what you said. Bushmeat would be just different type of animals all in one, and you never know what you're getting. Like, you know what I mean? So it would be like, let's say you, me, and Evan goes on a hunting trip, and we would gather squirrels, we would trap squirrels, bears, deers, fox, everything into one area, kill them all, and then when we get back there and start to skin them and whatnot, we don't know what type of meat goes where because we just cut them all up, but we don't know what we're getting when we split it up. So you might be getting a deer leg with a fox loin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't know what you're getting. And then when you make a stew out of it, you make like a big old pot of roast out of it, you throw everything on, you don't know what it is. It's like a bushmeat potluck.
So you're eating fucking lion, zebra, giraffe, hippo?
Whatever was in our hunt and whatever was in our gathering is what we were eating.
What are you guys hunting with? Like spears? AK-47?
Well, in my hunt, I never went onto a bushmeat hunting.
Why?
Because I wasn't old enough.
You had to be
You had to be old enough. I never went through the right initiation before I was adopted. So there's a certain age that you reach, and then you have to leave your family and everything and go into like this isolation. I call it a human zoo because it's basically like a zoo, except nobody's allowed in. But the voodoo chief, I guess, it was weird. Like the culture there in my hometown. So you go to this freaking, I remember my auntie went. She was my favorite. She goes on to this. I don't remember the age she turned, but she turned a certain age and she went on to this place. And then she had to become a woman. Transition into woman. High school. is for Americans. That's the initiation into like adulthood, and in college it's the fine print. If you think about it, in American culture, high school is kind of like becoming an adult. Like that 4 years how you transition into learning how to be an adult, and in college it's that fine print, and after college it's when you get that stamp saying, yeah, you're an adult. But in Liberia, it's a little bit different. You go leave your family. I don't remember how long, but my auntie was gone for days. She comes back with like bumps on her back, and it's weird. It's hard to explain. Like half the shit. If I could explain everything I've went through in Liberia, I wouldn't even know where to start, because like my memory is all like over the place. It's not like all set because you don't have photographs. You know what I mean? Birthday parties, you don't have time to take a picture. Oh, you go to the museum of this person. Oh, you're gonna go do this thing. Oh shit, I saw this bird. I saw a toucan. I remember when I saw a toucan for the first time. Couldn't take pictures of it. Couldn't do nothing. Just looked at it, just knowing that I'm gonna see it again. So it was kind of hard growing up there and not remembering every little detail. You know what I mean? Not even remembering any of my birthdays, but one.
You don't know the day you were born then?
Nope. My parents gave me September 2nd, 1996, but there's no fact to that being true. There's no way we can prove that's true.
Do you know how old you are then? Not really.
I'm going off of American doctors.
Oh, really?
The dentist said I'm around 24. Well, we'll be around 24 now. I'm 24 right now. So according to them, when I got adopted, yes, I was around 10 or 12. When I got adopted, around 10 or 12.
That's funny, bro.
But there's this thing, though, that I remember.
For all we know, you could be like 35.
That's what I was about to tell you. I kid you not. There is this memory in my back, in my subconscious, somewhere in my mind that I can't get rid of. I remember jump roping once we got to the house. We got to this lady's house because my uncle was dating this girl, one of the head staff of the orphanage daughter. So she got us in with them directly. So we went and we were talking to them. And I'm jump roping with my friends, right? And I'm jump roping with the friends and my siblings, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I hear this thing saying that they needed to change my age. Because white people don't want to adopt older kids, which makes sense. Which clearly makes sense. But however, into this world is changing. But back then, this made sense. Why would you want to adopt a kid that's old enough to remember his background, that's just going to omit you out of his life? Like, you know what I mean? That's just going to not even listen to you, but still remember his past. So white people, we believe that white people, the younger you were, the quicker you're going to get adopted. So they changed my age. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's just a memory that I cannot shake. I can't shake off my mind. It's just, I just remember them trying to change my age. First, they changed it to 10. I remember them saying 10 years old. My mom saying, okay, well, we could change it to 10. And then the lady that was in charge saying, no, we should probably try and do another 2 years, so to change it to 8. So when I went to the orphanage, I was 8 years old. And I remember I was 8 years old because that's what it told me. I remember clearly that's how old I was when I was adopted. When I was going to the orphanage, I was 8 years old. But I remember there's a memories in my mind saying like they changed your age. Like I should have been like 12 years old going on to the orphanage. And if you think about it, everything I kind of been through in my life makes me believe like there's no way I was freaking 8 years old when I went onto the orphanage in 2003. Or whenever that year was. Or whenever, because I know for a fact I got adopted in 2006. That's the scariest part about being adopted, and that's something I hate about it. And that's the most regret I have by growing up in Liberia. That's the only thing I hate about growing up in Liberia. is the fact that I don't remember, like, my first birthday. What was that all about? Like, my first birthday. What was my first birthday? My second birthday? Like, all that type of shit. But you know what, though? If I could go back, like I said, I don't know if I would change anything, because it kind of made me who I am today. You know what I mean? That's what people have to realize, and that's what black people have to realize. We went through all that bullshit, and everybody went through all that bullshit to get to where they were at today. You know what I mean? You went through everything you can.
I wonder when they were picking your birthday as like September 2nd.
Actually, that was after I was adopted. My parents chose that.
I wonder why your parents chose that. Do you think it's because they wanted to like keep it, like they're like, okay, let's not do him in December because that's Christmas, that's a fun month. Let's not do January, that's a fun month. Let's not do July 4th. Let's not do anything in July. Let's not do anything in November. Let's not do anything in April. Those are like fun, like holiday months. Nothing in February, that's Valentine's Day. And then they were like, okay, when the fuck's our anniversary? And they were like, let's not do it that month. And they're looking at 5 months and they're like, dude, like, you know it's a shitty month. September is a shitty month. Let's make September fun again. That's what I would fucking do.
Hey, shit.
Dude, bro, literally, dude, people will like have their anniversary on a month that's already stacked. Like people have their anniversary in like December, and it's like, dude, Christmas is in December. Like spread that shit out so it's more.
You know why though?
Why?
It is not the woman's idea, and I'm gonna say this: it's never the woman's idea, because I did it once. My first girlfriend, I asked her out on Valentine's Day. Make sure that. Because Valentine's Day, I don't have to get her two gifts. Should I just get her one gift that's both anniversary and Valentine's Day? You get a flower and a necklace. Hey, look, there you go. You know what I mean? Like, shit.
So you know, it's almost like you don't care. You're like, hey, like, honestly, like, kind of fuck you, like, take your gifts, like, it's whatever. Just like, take them. And that might be because, like, you probably didn't receive gifts.
Oh, hell no, dude. On my birthday?
Bro, like, fuck these
shit,
people.
On my birthday, I never got shit. There's one gift I ever remember getting.
In Liberia?
Actually, I never got it. No, I never fucking got it. I got the money to buy it. But I spent the money on something else. In Liberia, you know, like those little Dora the Explorer phones that you guys, like, that kids get, or like those little plastic phones, you press a button, it says something. I don't know if you remember, like the old ass ones that was literally like the burner phones. That looked like the burner phones.
Okay.
So in Liberia, we have burner phones, but it was fake. So you press a button, it says something.
Okay.
Oh my God. Every kid wanted that toy. And I wanted it.
Even though it can't place a phone call?
Can't place a phone call. Who the fuck cares? Bro, that was the best toy. I still want it to this day. I'm going to buy it. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to look for it. I know it's going to be expensive. Probably. So I'm going to have to wait a little bit. But I'm going to look for those type of phone and I'm going to buy it and keep it as a trophy. Because that was the number one thing I wanted. That was... every kid wanted that. I wanted it. Mother gave me money for Christmas Day. Speaking of all days. Well, I guess Kwanzaa. But to go buy it, and I never did. I ended up spending the money on fucking something else. Anyway, back on track. I don't know.
This is
fun. This is awesome.
That's part of the story. Like no, that's part of the story. Is like the gifts and the whole Valentine's Day and like the anniversary and shit like that. Like you told a side piece of the story that's like much appreciated. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that. Like you got me reminding of like a relic they should have in like a video game or like some achievement or like a banner or like emblem art or like for example Call of Duty, something that hangs off a gun. They should have a Dora phone or some shit. Like it reminded me of like something so special to somebody that like you would even want to purchase it, you know?
And you see the thing too though? What makes me sad is that excuse me, my kids are never gonna realize the number. Like, it's crazy to think. The number one thing that I wanted in my life, the number one thing was a freaking Dora the Explorer phone. That's the only comparison. It wasn't Dora the Explorer on it. Like, they have their program on it. But it was just like that. A little flip phone, you press it and it says, each number says something different. You know what I mean? Or you could press the button and make it all sound like you're actually calling someone, but nothing happens. And that was the fucking thing I wanted my whole entire life. Right? And it's funny to think that when I have my own kids, they're not going to be asking for something that's going to cost like $5 or $1 at the Dollar Tree. When back in my day, it was freaking $50. It was like $50. I'm talking not American money, obviously. I'm talking about Liberian money, but it was like $50. Like, in Liberia, shit, that's a lot of money. Motherfucker, that's a lot of fucking dough. Man, I can probably live for a couple good weeks. Plus, off of $50 in Liberia.
So you guys have stores and currency.
What do you mean?
Can you go to the store and buy milk?
Oh, yeah.
Could you go to the
It's
store?
a little bit different.
Could you go buy chicken eggs? Are there chickens in Africa?
Hell yeah. When I grew up, ain't no niggas gonna go buy fucking chicken eggs. Everybody had their own chicken, basically.
Oh, really?
Oh,
what
shit.
about pigs?
Pigs, it wasn't quite like in the U.S. where you go to the store. Hey, shit, I'm feeling like pig loins today. You know what? No, I want bacon. You know what? No, I want some pig ribs. Fuck no. You go to the freaking farmer next door, like, hey, can I buy that pig? He's like, yeah, all right, cool. Here's the money. Cool. You take the pig back home, keep it, race it, or you kill it. Actually, we mostly kill it.
Did people ever just keep it for like ever? Like never killed it? They just liked having the pig on the property?
To my memory, it's like every family was different. There were certain things that we like to keep. In Liberia, you want to keep what's going to make the less struggle. Keeping pig, my family was not capable of keeping pigs. That's not what we specialized in. But we did have people that would buy pigs, keep them, breed them. Us, we were with chickens. Our thing was chickens and fruit and farming. If that makes sense. So we were a farmer plus with like the livestock of chickens.
Did you ever get in family fights?
Oh, hell yeah. Man, my uncle tried to kill my grandpa once. Man, that nigga was standing on top of my grandpa, like literally, I kid you not, almost like a scary movie type shit. If I could be honest with you, my uncle and my grandfather, they got in a huge ass fight once. Man, they got in a huge ass fight. It was the one. I thought my uncle was gonna kill my grandfather that night. And my grandfather was the one that ran the whole entire household. He was in charge of everything. He went from rich to rags. Is it most black people, we say from rags to riches. He went from riches to rags. Which kind of sucked for my family. But, yeah, I remember when my uncle almost killed my grandfather.
Why?
They got in an argument. Is it my uncle Opa? His name is Opa. Opa was a little bit different. And by the way, to be honest, Opa is actually the one that convinced me to come to America.
Okay.
The one that actually tried to kill my grandfather. He's the second. So, my grandfather had multiple kids, but the oldest he had an oldest son that was a doctor. Pride of the family, doctor, you know what I mean? And then my mother. I don't remember if my mother was the oldest or she was the second oldest, but she was one of them. Actually, no, she was the oldest. She was the oldest daughter. Because I'm the oldest grandson. So she was the oldest even though that shit never works out that way, but she was the oldest. And then my uncle. And then Opa, the one that tried to kill my grandfather. Actually, you talk about fucking family fights. Talk about I'm not talking about yelling at one another on Christmas and throwing shit at the wall. I'm talking about pulling out guns, pulling out freaking knives, standing on top of your own grandfather on top of his head with a knife, ready to freaking bring it down. Like, I'm talking about family fights like that.
Was he going to bring it down on
He was going to
Were
kill.
guys like holding his arm and shit?
I wasn't part of it, but like, we have family friends. I was trying to hold him back, but but my grandfather said no. That motherfucker was freaking something else. I don't know why he has so much, like, no fear. He just said, no, let him do it. And he's sitting there. This motherfucker is sitting there like
let him kill him? He was ready to die.
Not quite. He just knew
he wasn't going to do it.
He wasn't going to do it. Because I feel like he knew that was not the first time he did it. Because guess what? In Liberia, we believe in kind of voodoo shit like that. So in Liberia, if you never cross your family. You never cross your parents. But guess what? We ain't like Japanese. We fucking say fuck you to our parents all the time. But then we have to ask for forgiveness. I remember this one time, my other uncle, Friday. These are the two troublemakers. Opa and Friday. The two trouble fucking makers. Opa was like the older brother where he was kind of like set in his ways, but he was still smart. He knows like he couldn't be nothing without grandpa. So, but he was still prideful. And then you got Opa, Friday, the one that was kind of like a little bit a mother's boy, but also argues with mom and actually tried to kill mom once and curse on mom, meaning my grandmother. Cursing my grandmother once. And we had to go through this whole fucking ritual, and I'm staying up till freaking midnight waiting for this freaking ritual so my grandmother can perform this ritual that will forgive my uncle, so that he's not damned for all eternity. It was the weirdest thing. I remember her saying some words, putting water in her mouth, jerking around, spitting it on the ground, and then my uncle had to go into the ground, begging for forgiveness, grabbing the freaking like dirt, putting it on, like the fucking eyeline, like you would do in like baseball, in football or baseball for like eyeshadow. So he was like doing the whole thing, doing like everything. And I'm like sitting on the stairs, like not really understanding what is going on, because at this time, like I said, we grow up fast, but we grow up slow at the same time. Mentally, we kind of grow up slow, but physically, we grow up fast. You know what I mean? You got to be able to do whatever you can to do to help out the family. But you don't really know what's going on, because in Liberia, the culture at that time, because I can speak for it now into this world, but at that culture, the culture at that time was different, was weird. It was strange. Uncles, sons trying to kill parents, me getting pissed off at my mother, like, you know what I mean? Going to jail at a young ass age, like, it was just normal. If all you know in Liberia is all you know, was all you know. But I would tell you though, there were some fun ass parts. Man, we didn't have TVs in Liberia, so guess what? You wake up in the morning, guess what we did? Wake up in the morning. If I didn't have to go to work, I'm outside juggling the football. And I have a house here, and we have a grave right next to my house, a tomb. Right next to my house. Oh, and by the way, 30 yards behind my church, not even 30 yards, right behind my church, we got more graves. Well, we bury everybody. But you wake up in the morning, I wake up in the morning, I go kick my soccer ball against this grave. Against this tombstone. And I play soccer against this tombstone, man. I'm basically disrespecting this person, but in all honesty, that wasn't how we looked at it. Like, you know what I mean? In Liberia, like, there were different tribes, multiple different tribes. There was over 31 different tribes, almost 50 different tribes in Liberia, in that area alone. In my village I grew up in, there was Pele, Gisi, and Bausa. Those are the three I remember. Pele, Gisi, and Bausa. Those are different tribes, different languages.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's like thinking about Native American. They were all Native American, but there were different tribes within them. You got Miwoks. You got fuck. I can't believe I can't. Oh man. Oh, my brother's gonna kill me for not remembering all the others' name. But you got different type Washoe. You got different type of different Native American tribes, right? That was the same thing with Liberia. We're all Liberians, but we have different tribes who all speak different languages.
Yeah.
In this little ass country, in this little ass city, town. Remember I told you, you got downtown, you got uptown. Like in my village, my grandfather was like the chief of the Bausa tribe, which was my tribe. So all the Bausa people kind of respect to my grandfather. We all spoke English together, or at least tried to speak English together. That was the common tongue, but everybody spoke different language. Bausa, Manchema, money buy. You want to get your ass beat? Somebody looks at you wrong, you're like, money buy. It's like a question. It's almost like Spanish, like you can kind of understand like the way I speak. So like when somebody tells you money buy, it's kind of like a question. Do you want to get your ass beat? Do you want to get beat today? Like, you know what I mean? So we
Did
will.
you ever answer yes?
At times I did when I was feeling cocky. And that's what that's what got me into that gunfight.
When you were smoking the coke with the gunpowder?
Money buy. I said yes. I don't remember what yes is. I don't remember how to say like how you and what now, because like when you go to the orphanage, you gotta start speaking your language.
Yeah.
You gotta learn English.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what got me into that freaking gunfight. I wish I remember how to not say yes in Bausa before I said it. Then maybe I wouldn't have ran all around town until my grandfather got me. I didn't tell you the end of that story. The end of that story.
Knife?
No. The end of with the knife. No, we stopped him.
My only question about the knife story, and then continue, is what was the next morning like? Was he like, hey, I told you, motherfucker, you weren't going to stab me, you did not pull through? Or was it like, hey, what's up? Like, I appreciate you for not stabbing me.
To be honest with you, I don't remember what the next morning off, but I could tell you, hypothetically, from how we were raised and everything we went through, honestly, I think the next morning went good. I don't think anybody said anything to anyone. I think we all forgot about it. Just like the day with like the freaking gun, with like the gunshots and every other thing we did. You forget about it. You move on.
You low-key just did forget about it.
Forget about it. You say forget about it? Oh, dude, that's my favorite. I love that show.
Yo, is there a show called Forget About It?
You know, I thought that's what you're talking about. Yes, there is a Canadian. I think it's making fun of Canada and shit, but yeah, okay. It is a show called Forget About It. Look it up on Hulu. It is fucking funny. It's kind of like American Dad.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of in like the same spectrum as American Dad and Family Guy. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody kind of forgot about it. And the next day, I mean, we did talk about it for a little bit, but it wasn't serious because in Liberia, we believe once you forgive somebody, you forgive them. It doesn't fucking matter what it did, you forgive them. Because we were all Christian, and we believe in the scripture where it says in Psalms, in the book of Psalms, it said, "Thou shalt dash the foot against a stone." If you ask for forgiveness, God will always send an angel. God will always send I kind of paraphrased it in my own word, but in basically the main term is that God will always send an angel to you if you dash your foot against a stone. And I mean, if you get hurt, it doesn't matter what type of hurt you get, you can always ask for forgiveness. So we always believe in that. Which kind of sucked, because that didn't stop my fucking uncles trying to kill my grandparents. Or their parents, or kill anybody else. Because hey, shit, ask for forgiveness, I'll be fine.
Do they remember you? Or is there just so much going on, there's no way? No.
You know, that is something I'm yet to find out.
Are you going to go back to your village?
Yep. Once I get my
if you
degree.
got back there and they're all fucking like chilling, speaking English, like living in like 4-story houses, internet, Wi-Fi, they're playing video games, and they're like, "Oh, what up, Humphrey?"
Oh, you know what I'm gonna give them? I'm gonna give them this. I'm gonna give them this. And I'm gonna be like, fuck you guys.
And they're like, bro, like they're like, you're about to like say some shit to them, and you're like, you have your mouth open, and you're like, hey, like it's good to see you type shit. Like you're about to say that, and you're like, and then they cut you off, and they're like, oh, like they kind of like shuffle you away. They're like,
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go try and find a knife, walk over to Opa and be like, hey, you remember this, bitch? Now you remember me? I'm gonna be like, now you remember me, bitch? Holding the knife over his fucking head. Fuck him. Like, what the fuck? Like, hey, you remember when you sent me away? Yeah, you remember me?
oh, he sent you away?
This was his fault. I wouldn't say yes because of him.
Dude,
I
what if
literally-
he was like, yo, go live, go try and like live somewhere else, like go to another country
That was basically
Like-
what's it.
in a positive way.
This motherfucker was the meanest one out of the whole entire family. I told you, Oprah was like the meanest one out of the whole siblings. You know how you have like the original family, and then like the kids, you have like the mom and dad, they have kids, and then their kids have kids, like the whole 9 yards, like. And then you got that one black motherfucking sheep. You got multiple black sheep in the family, but you got that one dark black sheep. Darker than black. That was like different than everyone. Didn't really give a shit. But then he tells you, you thought he hated you your whole entire life of living with him. And then he tells you, one day I had to go use the restroom in the middle of the night. And I woke up my Uncle Friday. Because Friday loved me. He loved my mom. He was the youngest. So I'll try to wake up Friday. And Friday says, if Friday wouldn't wake up, it wouldn't take me. So Opa was like, hey, I'll take you. And I'm like, okay. I didn't want to go with him because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't want to go use the restroom with somebody that I didn't really quite trust. But Opa always, it's funny. Looking back, he did a lot to like look after me. You know what I mean? He did a lot, but I didn't agree with some of his methods. So he kind of scared me a little bit. His idea, smoking the gun, as I can remember, was basically gunpowder with cocaine. Doing cocaine for the first time when I was like fucking younger than 8. His fault. And also Friday, if I could remember. Anyway, he takes me to the bathroom, and you know what he tells me? And this is like my opening of the book I'm trying to write. Which I'm actually trying to write a book my mom's been trying to tell me to write for ages.
That's dope, bro. That's dope.
I started writing it when I was younger, but then I lost the notebook that I was writing it in, so I got to start over. But in the beginning of my book, it starts off with saying like it was a still night. It was a quiet night. A boy raised his hand saying he had to go use the restroom. The darkness says he would take him. My uncle said he would take me. We go out, and he told me. I have this picture in my head, literally vividly. I remember the tree we went to go use the restroom. I remember exactly where we went. I remember how we walked there. I remember how bright it was. Because that was the moment my whole entire fucking life changed. Because that was the moment that I had to make the biggest decision. Was when we went to go use the restroom, and he looked at me. He told me, if the white people ask you if you're going to go live with them, say yes. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on at this time. They didn't really tell us that we would leave, that we were going to go to America.
Yeah.
Like, they were giving hints at it, but they never really told us what was actually going on until the next day. But Opa being Opa, he told me, he's like, if the white people ask you if you want to go to America, say yes. So guess what I said? Yes. Even after they changed my age and everything, I said yes. I remember that's the first time I actually cried. And actually shed tears. But I was ashamed for people to see me cry because I always had to be like the big boy. I was the oldest one going on to the orphanage, so I had to be strong. So I took my shirt, I put it above my eye, and as I'm waving goodbye to the family that just dropped me off into this house, that I'm probably going to be in for the next few years. God knows when I'm going to be leaving.
Can you run away?
You can, but why? You run away, the rebels are either going to take you or you're either going to be lame. There was most people that ran away, but once they brought everybody together, because we're all kind of separated. I remember I started in Monrovia, one part of Monrovia, nice ass place. That brings back a lot of different memories. But anyway, we were living in one part of Monrovia, moved to a different part, to an all boys. That place I fucking hated. That place sucked. It was like waking up and in a zoo, basically. It's like waking up and seeing the same old fucking shit every single day, seeing the more motherfuckers every fucking single day at this other place. The first place we went to was okay, because I could go out to the balcony, and that lady was hot, and she was actually pretty cool. But I could go, and that's where we learned a lot of the child story books I want to write. Like a lot of different stories about genies and made up fantasy stories. But, like we used to tell stories like that, and then I go to this other place. I had to learn how to talk to white people. I learned that you got to call the white dad mom. Not mom, it was dad. Well, a girl told me mom, but then the other one told me dad. So I didn't know. Mom or dad, man or dad. Because we called him Papa, something else in Liberia. So I had to learn how to call each people mom and dad. And that's why I learned how to call people mom and dad. And I learned that I wet the bed. I learned that I wet the bed when I was younger at that age. That shit was fucking funny. But I said I learned to wet the bed then. But you wake up in the morning with the wet blanket on top of you. You don't know if it's yours or not because you're sleeping in a room like this with 50 other boys.
So they might throw it on your ass. Damn.
Somebody piss on the bed, you throw it to the next person. And the reason why I say that is because I did it too. Oh, everybody did it.
Fucker. I'd have been like, dog, you guys are sick.
Because you wake up, if you wake up the next morning and you're the one that pissed in the bed, you got a lot of work to do that next day.
Cleaning.
Oh, fuck yeah. More than that, and you get in trouble, too.
You have to clean the mattress.
Clean the mattress, clean everything in the room. You got to clean not just your area, you got to clean every area. Wash the mattresses, wash the blankets, and then on top of that, you also got in trouble, depending on which house you were at.
Did you have the cleaning materials to clean all this shit? Like scrubbers?
Soap! And go drain water out of the well.
Okay.
You get water out of the well, put it on the fire pit. Put it if you want hot water, you take the water out of the well, put it in the pot, put it on the fire, let it boil. And then when you think it's hot enough, if you want it, you can use it.
Okay.
That's how you took bath too.
Okay.
And that's just how it was. But I kid you not, Liberia was fun. Liberia was amazing. The most thing I loved about Liberia was the freedom. That's the only thing I'm going to miss about Liberia, was the freedom.
No pun intended, but you probably felt liberated. Because Liberian liberation.
Hey, you know what? You know why we always celebrate liberation? Because guess what? When slaves was liberated, that's where they were dropped off. But guess what, though? We also against it because you got people that was just dropped off onto your country.
Yeah.
So you don't know. So in my background, I don't know if I'm slave or if I'm normal or if I'm a native Liberian. But when I came to America, though, you know what? I say I wouldn't change a single thing when I go back. Like I said, I wouldn't change a single thing. And I wouldn't stay with the same old life like I had because I didn't know what I would do. I would just let it play it out. And if it played out the way it did again, which I hope it does, if I could, It's everything I ever wanted. Man, I'm in America. When I came to America, man, I used to watch fucking American TV shows. Like, you know, the best athlete. American teen shows, the athlete gets the hottest girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like American Pie, like those type of movies and shit like that. Like, that's the type of high school career lifestyle I wanted. I was homeschooled when I was adopted until high school. But my dad was like, hey, we got to send Humphrey to school because I can pay for his college. That's what he said. He's like, I want, because he has 5 boys. My dad had 5 boys, man. My parents had 5 kids. You kidding me? I never wanted my parents to worry about me paying for college for me or anything like that. Even though they freaking still do. I can now get my mom to stop worrying about me or my dad.
That's sick.
No, it is. To have white people that actually worry about you. And now I'm not just saying white people, but I'm talking about adopted people that actually fucking worry about you and actually give 2 shit. The scariest thing I ever did in my entire life was being adopted. And the reason why is because when you're adopted, and especially if you're adopted with people that already have a family, a mom, a dad, an older brother, Hunter, middle brother, Paul, and a younger brother, William. You got 3 kids already. That's a full family. That's a family right there. You know what I mean? But then to be like, you know what? To look at your 3 other boys and be like, hey, we're going to add to the family. We're going to bring 2 black kids that you guys never met before. Oh, by the way, they were from a different country. And their country's been in civil war for years. And by the way, we don't know if your new brothers are going to be killers or not. Oh, we don't really know how old your next brothers are. But hey, guess what? You guys agreed to adopt them? And then have them be like, yes. And then having to come to that home and looking at your new family and looking at your new brothers and asking yourself, like, how the fuck am I going to fit in this family? How do I belong here? Why am I here? Why did I decide to come here? That was my fear, was that I was never going to get in with their kids. I didn't give a shit how the family treated me or the parents treated me. I gave a shit how my brothers were going to treat me. And you know what? My family, and that's why George and I are actually real brothers now and not seeing each other as half. It's because of them. You are never allowed to say that. You are never allowed to introduce your brothers as adopted. It doesn't matter. Each brother you're talking about, you're never allowed to introduce them as adopted. So I love being in America.
Dude, I literally could keep going for like multiple more hours right now.
Oh, I know you can.
We're almost at like 2 hours. It's been a second. I say we wrap it up right now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
I didn't say something real fast and then you close this. If that works.
Dude, do whatever you want.
And it's crazy, bro. Like, I feel like I'm in you're painting a nice, vivid picture. And I'm like, shit, man, like, I'm following this. But I'm ecstatic and I'm super stoked that this happened tonight because you definitely added, like, a new thing to, I guess, my life. And it really is perspective. Like that, like the life that you came from and then coming to where you live currently and the lives that pretty much all of us grew up with, like technology and being able to sleep in a bed and like you know, like access to healthcare and shit like that, compared to you guys sleeping in the fucking dirt and like having leeches like by your dick and shit and like smoking cocaine mixed with gunpowder. Like it's perspective, and you need to be able to understand other people's perspectives, so you appreciate more things around you, and you're just like that much more in touch with reality and the current situation going on. So I appreciate you coming on, bro. I really fucking do.
Dude, thank you so much for having me on and let me ramble about my life and what I'm pissed off about, and just let me get it out. I literally feel like I have a burden that just got lifted off of my heart, that I was able to just freak out and just say whatever I wanted. Like, it was awesome. And you know, like you said, in life, it's all about meeting new people and realizing new people, lifestyle. You cannot judge a book by the cover unless you read it to the next cover. Unless you read it to the back cover. You know what I mean? You can never truly understand a true human desire. And that's why I get pissed off with the whole Black Lives Matter, is because they're going about it the wrong way. In my opinion, you know what I mean? They don't understand what these cops go through. They don't understand. Some people don't understand that there's another side to each story. In everybody's life, there's a positive side and there's a juvenile side to it. You know what I mean? And that's what I wish people would realize. And that's what I want to realize. Yeah, I've gone through a lot of fucked up shit in my life. Being adopted, being whatever I've done. But you know what? All that shit has made me who I am today. It made me meet you. It gave me this opportunity to be able to talk about my life. Like, you know what I mean? But in the end, I think we all just have to remember who we actually really are. You know what I mean? I honestly think we just, not to go sentimental or anything like that, because, yeah, I'm a little bit of a sentimental type of nigga. But I'm not at the same time. I'm also a real nigga from Africa, so I also get it. So trust me, y'all. Hey, I get it, man. This shit is fucking amazing. This is like the opportunity I always wanted. Like, you know what I mean? This is why I said yes to coming to America. Was opportunities like this. Fuck, if I could stay in Liberia, play soccer all fucking day and not do shit, hell yeah. But I want this type of opportunity to have my own freaking podcast, to fucking do whatever I want, to be an actor, be whatever I want. And that's what America offers, and that's why every black people deserves, and everybody deserves to be in America. That's what I'm going to close with. I'm not going to say anything spontaneous, try to go back over everything I said and make like a big old, a big old message at the end. Fuck no. I'm just going to say, I'm a college student trying to make a living from Liberia, trying to make the best as I can. And I think that's what all people have to do. Honestly. But hey, fuck. I'm proud of you. You're going to take a shot with me. We're going to close this out with a shot.
Bro, let's wrap it. But yeah, we're going to do that right now. Yeah. You guys heard it from Humphrey himself, dude. Bro, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
You do,
that was
of course.
Super sick, man. That was super fucking
Hey,
dope.
thank you.